Part 3. You will hear two students, Jack and Emma, discussing their field trip to observe wild dolphins. First, you'll have some time to look at questions 21 to 26. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 26.
Hey Emma, how was your field excursion?
It was fantastic, Jack. I'm really glad we made the decision to go.
Remind me, where was it again?
We went to the coastline to observe wild dolphins in their natural setting.
That sounds incredible. So what exactly did you do while you were there?
We spent a couple of days monitoring their movements and recording some footage. I actually have a video of them. Would you like to watch it?
Absolutely, that would be amazing.
I'll show you tomorrow. Right now, I need to go over my notes. I have a tutorial coming up and I want to be well prepared.
What are you going to cover in the session?
I'll be discussing the objectives of our trip. We had two primary goals.
Oh, what were they?
The first was to analyse the natural behaviours of dolphins. We all hear about how intelligent they are and how they communicate, but we wanted to witness it firsthand.
Right, and the second goal?
It was to observe the dolphins within their ecosystem and examine how they interact with their surroundings.
So what did you discover?
Quite a lot. One of the most interesting things was their feeding habits.
Oh really, what do they eat?
They primarily consume a species of fish called mullet. They work together, driving the fish into shallower waters where they're easier to catch. They repeat this strategy until they've had their fill.
That's clever. What about when they're not looking for food?
They spend a significant amount of time engaging in playful activities. They play among themselves, but they also interact with objects. They frequently pick up pieces of seaweed, toss them in the water, and catch them again. It almost seems like a game.
That's fascinating. Did they play with you as well?
Yes. When we were on the boat, they approached us and swam alongside us. They appeared quite curious about our presence.
Did you get to touch them?
No, we were specifically instructed not to. Since they're wild creatures, touching them could be risky. They might even bite. But they swam close enough for us to see them in detail.
Interesting. Did you notice anything else about their interactions?
Yes, we observed how they communicate. They produce various sounds and use physical gestures, like movements of their heads and tails, to express themselves.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you'll have some time to look at questions 27 to 30. Now listen and answer questions 27 to 30.
That's really intriguing. What about their interactions with other species?
Wow, we noticed that some seabirds were feeding on the same fish as the dolphins. The dolphins didn't seem bothered by them. They simply continued hunting as usual.
Did you encounter any other marine creatures?
Yes, we spotted some sea turtles and even a shark. Surprisingly, the dolphins weren't afraid of it at all. They swam around as if it wasn't even there.
Wow, that's unexpected.
Yes, it was. And we also observed their interactions with people. They seem genuinely intrigued by humans. They approach boats, circling them as if they're trying to figure out what we're doing.
That's fascinating. So, for your tutorial, what aspects are you focusing on?
Well, I'll be analysing dolphin behaviour, how they communicate, socialise, and even play. I'm also looking at how environmental factors influence them, like water temperature and pollution.
That sounds really insightful. Are you also covering their natural habitat?
Not exactly. I'm more focused on how the surroundings impact them, rather than just describing where they live.
I see. And what about their interactions with other species?
That was definitely interesting to observe, but my tutorial won't go into that in depth.
What about their hunting strategies? I remember you mentioned they work together to catch fish.
Yes, that was fascinating, but I won't be discussing it in this presentation.
Got it. Well, I'd love to hear more about it later.
Of course, but I need to go now. I've got a seminar in 10 minutes.
All right, see you tomorrow.
That is the end of part 3. You now have 30 seconds to check your answers to part 3. Now, move to part 4